People, you don't think the way everything's headed right now that they're going to hit you with both barrels. And what I'm talking about, folks, man, they've been talking about this. This goes way back, uh, like about 2015, and I think back to Jade Helm again, that they were talking about this. They do not want anybody living within 100 miles of any border of the United States. Nobody. Actually, they don't even want us within 100 miles. They want us pushed back up into what they call super cities, like what they got in China, stacked on top of each other. They don't want us spread out. Everything they're doing with that southern border and everything down there, people are trying to push them people off of that border. Everything they've done in California for the last 2 decades, at least, is to push people out of California. Today, I think it was today or yesterday, they or in the last week or so anyway, Washington State has made it mandated that all the police officers get vaccinated. Or everybody. It's everybody. Or you lose your job. That was it. If you got a job, you get vaccinated. If you don't, you lose your job. Well, that's more proof that they want to get you, push everybody out of that state too. Washington State and California, you take care of that. They're already trying to push people out of Arizona and New Mexico, but they're really working hard on Texas. They're really working hard on Texas, but Texas is a sovereign state. The only one left in this country. They can fly their flag above the United States flag. Or at least they was last I heard. Okay. But people have already, but it doesn't matter. We've got container ships sitting off of the coast, the East Coast or the West Coast, from Washington all the way down through California. They can't get in. They can't get in because they can't get the shit out. Why? Because they've done fucked with the truck drivers so bad, just like me, and put so many of us out of the business that they can't get truck drivers to drive the trucks now. So even though Biden opened up the ports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which most of the ports I ran out of run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week anyway. I was running out of the ports up in Chicago, all over the fucking place, but mainly Chicago back down to Indianapolis. And those ports, they were rail yard ports. And some of them, there was a couple of them that come in off the Great Lakes. Now, they were big, too. They were big. Union Pacific, they were all the big ones. And they would have containers stacked 15 high and just acreage of containers. And there was times we went in there wasn't any. And that was about the time I bought my truck and started running them on my own. And there wasn't any. But that's the thing right now, folks. All them shipping containers are sitting out off the coast. They got to have deep water ports to get into. There ain't that many of them, so they got to wait their turn. Then they got to wait before they can, they can only offload so many of these damn ships, and then they got to get some of it out. Well, they're having a hard time getting it out, and so now these owner operators that are willing to haul the shit out, they're going to be able to name their price. Well, that's going to make everything else go up too, folks. It's funny. They came out and said, now this is something that I don't want to tell you who it was, but their name rhymed with the Washington Post. But they said that, and this wasn't 5 months ago, this wasn't a year ago, this wasn't a year and a half ago, folks. This was this month of August 2021. That 4.3 million people in this country quit their jobs. Now, August of 2021 is about the best month as far as if you wanted to work and all this that you could say we've had in probably about pushing 2 years. Pushing 2 years. But with all these companies still pushing it, making everybody wear the mask because the government's pushed it behind the scenes. It's not out in the open. Oh, well, we can't tell the companies what their policies can be. Bullshit. They threaten them with thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fines if people ain't wearing masks or vaccinated. So, yeah. Hey, you know what? If that's what people doing, then God, I hope God blesses every one of them with a way to keep their head above water. Every one of them. Because that's what it's going to take, these big corporations. These people, on a daily basis, could lose millions. And over a few months, lose billions. But see, they can file bankruptcy, change the name a little bit, or keep the same name, or whatever, sell it, or whatever. And then they can start up again and go at it again because the government will bail them out. They're too big to fail. You've heard that before. The airlines, there's people that are too big to fail. It's because they got ownership of our government. But people, I keep saying, you guys, the Black Lives Matter, defund the police. Yeah, go ahead. You're not going to like who they bring in after them. It's going to be federal. Could be people from other countries. Seriously. They could use the United Nations to police us, which I think there's 162 countries that are a part of that United Nations. And the United Nations that's sitting in New York City could call up right now 162 countries to bring their military and all their equipment into this country. And because our government's sold us out to the devil, our government, our military wouldn't do nothing about it. They'd help them. $4.3 million people, after all the millions of people that were laid off, doctors and nurses, and after all the people that were laid off because of COVID in the beginning, because they were unnecessary jobs, and all the millions and millions and millions of people that have lost their jobs. And anywhere you go around here, everybody's got signs out hiring all positions. You could almost be a moron and be a manager. And I know that for a fact because I know many managers that are morons. 4.3 million quit this month. Well, there's only one other thing left to do, folks. If you're not going to have, we need to start just dealing with each other. Now, those of you that have these 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 500,000, $1 million homes, I don't know what you think you're going to do. They're not going to let you keep your shit. They're not going to let you keep it unless you go with them. If you're not going to go with them, you're going to have to say bye-bye. Bye-bye to all that fancy shit you got. Going to have to go back to bartering between each other. I've got pigs, you got chickens. All right, I'll give you a half a pig for 2 chickens or something. You're not going to be able to keep using their money and not going along with what they want. That's their money. It's their promissory notes, folks. States it right at the top. Federal promissory note. They can take it away whenever they want. If you're not willing to give up everything you got and start completely over from scratch, you better get over and get in line. Bill Gates has got something for you. Something that's going to be real important for you. You have to sign a contract with Satan. But you'll be able to keep your house. As long as you're on earth. You'll be able to keep your fancy cars. You'll be able to keep going on your vacations. Where that'll be, I don't know, because unless everybody else going to stick to it, where are you going to go vacation? People they were talking about and I'm telling you what, I went into a place the other day. I don't want to name names or even give you a rhyme on this one. Let's just say it was a parts store. I went into this parts store, been going in there for a long time, buy a lot of parts from them. Know the manager anyway, dealt with him many times. I was taking back some parts that I didn't need because, folks, when I go and I buy parts, if I don't know if there could be 2 or 3 different parts for something I need, and I'm not sure which one it is, I'll just buy all the damn parts so I don't have to make another trip back. Once I figure out which one I need, I put it in, and then I'll take the other ones back. Well, I was doing that at a store, and I had the receipt in my hand, handed her the parts, said I just want to get a refund. No big deal. Well, she goes, I'm going to need that card you bought this with. I said, why? I said, that was my wife's card. I don't have that thing with me right now. She goes, oh, well, you can't return this stuff then. Till you bring that card back, we're going to have to put it on that card. I said, what are you talking about? I don't understand what you're talking about. You want to talk to my manager? That was the first thing she jumped on. I said, no. I just started, give me my parts back, and I started putting them in a bag. And I bagged the stuff up. I said, I don't know what's happening around here. I said, but when I go out of here, I'm going to drive down the road probably. It's going to take me about 6 miles out of my way to hit another one of your stores that I've been going down there because of the service here. And when I get done there, I'll be back. So I left, folks. I left that place. I drove down. It was it was about 4 miles down. 3 or 4 miles down, 3 or 4 miles back to that store. But I drove down to the other store. Now, this woman at this first store, she told me, I've been working here for a long time. Woman, I've been working here for a long time. This is how we do it. And I said, oh, okay. You're really going to say that? She goes, you won't, I'll get my manager. So I just got left. But I went down to the other store and I walked in there. These guys treat me like a king when I go in there. Same store, different location. I walk in there, give him the same thing, the parts and the receipt. He brings it up. He goes, do you want to put that back on that card? I said, no, I don't even have it with me. He goes, no problem. He reached across, did push some buttons on that little thing out front, and then did a cash return on it. Never, not a problem whatsoever. Well, now I want to go talk to that manager. So I went out of my way again, another 3-4 miles, to go back to see that manager. I walk in, that girl's the only one up there. And she didn't say nothing to me as soon as I walked in. She was kind of standing over there putting something on a shelf. And I went over and stood at the counter, and she come over to me finally and said, can I help you, sir? And I said, yeah, I'd like to see that manager now. And she went back and got him. He come up. I said, yeah, I'd just like to have, I'm going to need your name. I'm going to need her name, and I'm going to need the district manager's name. Because I got to have a talk with him. And he goes, what's this about? And I said, buddy, I know she's already told you everything the minute I walked out of here. I said, why are you even asking me that? Well, I know it's something about a credit card and a purchase, and he walked over, walking out the door. I don't know. He was looking at something, writing something down. I don't know. I think it might have been the store number, but he was the manager. But anyway, he comes back over to the counter and I said, listen, all I got is one question for you. I said, do they change policies and procedures from store to store? Because I know this is a franchise, and I know they're individually owned, and everything. So I know, I just don't know how you guys do things. Do they change policies and procedures from store to store? And he goes, no. I said, oh, okay. I said, then tell me this, why right here at this location you guys wouldn't let me return them parts, and then all the way down when I drove another 3 or 4 miles down south of here on the same road, folks, just 3 or 4 miles south, I walked in there wasn't no questions. They gave me the cash back, no arguments, nothing, thanked me and everything else, and I left. And he looks at me, this manager. Oh, well, because you're on the south side of Youngstown now, and we do things differently up here. And I said, so you guys change policies and procedures? Well, we're protecting you. And I said, you're protecting me now too? I said, wait a minute. When did I hire you to protect me? He goes, well, with credit cards and stuff, we're just protecting your... I said, wait a minute. You guys did I use a credit card in this store? I said, man, that's all I need to know. And he goes, well, Adam's our district manager. So I called their district manager, and of course I didn't get a hold of him, but I'm in Youngstown, Ohio, and the phone number he gave me went to Vermont. Now I know Vermont's on the other side of Pennsylvania, and it's about 400 miles across Pennsylvania. And I don't know how much farther to Vermont. It's been so long since I've been up through that way. I don't even remember where Vermont's at. I'd have to look it up on a map. But it's a pretty long way away. And this guy's a district manager, and he lives in, or his main store is in Vermont. But I left a message for him, and the woman took him, and he did call me back like within about 2 hours. Oh, this is what I told the manager out at that store. I said, well, you know what, man, I'm going to do you guys a favor around here before I left the store. And I said, I'm going to get you some new training, but we're going to get her some customer service training. For sure. And he kind of looked at me and goes, oh, are you? And I said, yeah. And then I'd left. But, so I was talking, this guy called me, the district manager, Adam. And, I was driving, so I pulled over and stopped. Because I wanted to have this conversation. Now, people, I wasn't yelling at him or nothing or anything like that. I just told him, you know what? I said, I know, and I said, I understand with all that's going on right now. I'm not calling because I had to wait in a long line or anything like that. I'm calling because of your customer service. And I explained that I live in where I live, and this store is the closest one to my house. At least I thought. There's another one that's almost exact same distance, so that's the one I've been going to lately. But I told him, I said, I've been going in that store. I've lived here in this town for about 2.5 years now. I said, I'm the head mechanic of my family, of my son, my daughters, my wife. I work on my cousins' cars. I've worked on my uncles and aunts, uncles' cars. I worked on my mom and dad's cars. I said, there's a lot of my family vehicles that has a lot of your parts in them with lifetime warranties and stuff. I said, so my family spent a lot of money in this store. And he knew my name and he knew my phone number so he could look up what I'm saying to be true. And I said, look, I'm not looking to get anybody fired. I said, what I want is, I said, I deal with customer service. I've been dealing with customer service for most of my life on my jobs. I said, I was in the house painting business for 25 years, dealing with customers one-on-one. And I had to back jobs for over 2 years. They had to at least last 2 years, or I had to go back and fix it. And I said, and even today I deal with customers on a regular basis. I said, and I go, man, look, I'm telling you right now, this isn't just your people. I said, it's all these stores. McDonald's, you go over here to McDonald's, you're going to get the same treatment. You go over here to Walmart, you're going to get the same treatment. You go over here to Walgreens, you're going to get the same treatment. You go over here to any one of these stores around here, you're going to get the same treatment. And I understand it because all these places are hiring. So the people that you are that are working for you, willing to wear your mask for whatever 8, 10, 15 fucking hours, you're running them to death. All you have to do is change your policies to take the mask away. But you won't. Said, now I told you, I'm not looking to get these people fired. Let's get them some more training. Said the girl was wrong, and I told him, I said, the girl said that she needed the card to put the money back on her because she couldn't return it. And when he said something about a credit card, I said, no. At no time have I used a credit card in your store. Everything I use is debit cards. And he goes, well, then that makes her wrong. because on a debit card, you give cash back, no questions asked. Stated it right on the receipt, folks. Right on it. That it was a debit card used, not a credit card. So he said she was definitely wrong about that. And then the way she handled it, she was wrong about as well. And I said, well, then all I can say is this: maybe if you just get some training done, get some extra training done on her and some better training done on your manager. I said, as far as I'm concerned, this is resolved. I said, I'll leave all this right in your hands to deal with. Now, as I go in and out of that store, I'll figure out whether you had done anything or not. If you haven't, I said, man, there's enough stores in there almost right next door to your stores. They'll take my money. And he said, oh, no. So I said, all right then, as far as I'm concerned, I'm leaving this in your hands. You do it as you want with this, and if there's a change in there, then I'll know you fixed it. If there isn't, then I'll know you didn't. And I said, have a good day, sir. Thank you for calling me, and I hope everything works out. And he said, thank you, and we hung up. And then on this, that's what this is funny, because this just happened today. And then I'm looking at this Washington Post, or rhymes with Washington Post thing. And they were saying 4.3 million people quit in this month of August so far. Is it over? I don't think. Has Halloween went by yet? But they said 4.3 has quit so far. And they also said that because of COVID and all the crap that's going on with it, so many people have lost their jobs. So maybe a husband or a wife has lost their job, so there's only one income coming in, and it's caused so much frustrations and stuff that people are just beyond their breaking points. And customer service went out the window a long time ago. They even stated that in this that rhymes with the Washington Post article. And that's what made me laugh, because that's exactly the conversation I was having with another district manager today. People, I just tell you these stories because nobody else will listen, so why would you? My son don't want to listen to them. My daughter don't want to listen to them. They listen to some of them. But it ain't no different, and I want to hear them about their jobs either. But those of you that listen, hell, I love the hell out of you guys, man. You're hardcore. If I knew your names, I'd tell everybody all 5 names on this right now in this video if I knew them. If I knew one of them. Now, I tell you what, Michael Chamberlain, I know that guy. I know he's watching all my channels. But anyway, you guys, God loves you. So do I. Have a good night, folks. Find Jesus. Please. I beg you. Have a good night.